Okay, so I've been trying to learn Camille recently, and I was watching Weeknd, who's the challenger Camille main, and specifically I was watching the VOD of a game he played recently on his Smurf. This is his Smurf. It says it's Diamond 5 right now, but I believe that he played a lot of games in preseason on this account and got it to pretty high elo, like high diamond. So normally you wouldn't be Diamond 5 with just this win-loss on a completely unranked account. So I think the reason is that he played a lot in preseason. Regardless, he's doing really well on this account and stomping people. Specifically, this game was the one that I saw. He took Aftershock. He talked about how Aftershock is something he's been testing out. One of like the 4 keystones that he uses on Camille, which are Comet, Aftershock, Unsealed Spellbook, and Kleptomancy. He said he normally takes Kleptomancy in the Shen matchup, but because this game his team lacked a tank, and he wanted to test out the Aftershock, he went for the Aftershock instead of his usual Kleptomancy versus Shen. Anyway, in the actual game, I had some questions about the gameplay. So let me just find those clips. So this is the first clip after which I had a question about the play. So takes a bunch of minion aggro, gets pretty low, but he sustains back a little bit with W, and Shen chases him into the bush, and he gets a nice solo kill with the E. And my question is, after that solo kill, it looks to me like the wave, if he didn't touch the wave, it would push back towards him. So let me just go back about 5 seconds, see if I can find that. Oh gosh. Why don't the arrow keys work here? Let's see. Okay, so he gets the kill in about 5 seconds. I'll just go from here. So he gets the kill on Shen. So I'm thinking right now, alright, there are 5 minions on the enemy side, 5 minions on the allied side, and the wave is slightly off center. The center point is about here. The wave is slightly towards the enemy side, which means that if neither side has champions intervening, the wave should push towards the blue side of the map. And I believe Shen already used his teleport. I think earlier Shen backed and TP'd when he wasn't even low. And Weeknd was talking about how that was not good for Shen. So we know that Shen doesn't have his teleport, and he just got solo killed. So here I'm thinking Weeknd's got 1460 gold. If he just recalls right away, he can buy Sheen, a pink ward, and I guess no, it would just be Sheen, like boots, and potion and a pink ward. Or Sheen, a refillable, a reju bead, and a pink ward. Now one of those 2 buys, and they're both pretty good. You'll get a Sheen, you'll get maybe a longsword and a potion is another option, but one of those things, you can get like 400 gold worth of other stuff and a Sheen, which seems like quite a bit, quite a nice buy rather. And I'm thinking the wave is going to be pushing back towards him, so Shen doesn't have TP, so you can just walk back to lane, and Shen will miss more minions than you miss while you're walking back. And I think if you recall right away, you actually get back to lane before Shen does, because he's still going to be respawning when you start walking to lane. So here I'm thinking maybe it was best for Weeknd to just recall immediately after getting that kill. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's some reason he starts pushing out the wave. So that was my first question. Let me find the clip for the next thing I was unsure about. Just briefly, a little bit more on this wave decision after the solo kill. So here, Weeknd, after getting the solo kill, he shoves in the wave. But because he took a little bit of time to shove in the wave, And because it
He
was
doesn't have teleport.
early in the game, Shen respawned pretty quickly. And he's gonna come back. He's gonna miss his cannon, I believe, but he doesn't miss anything else in the wave, if
Nice.
I'm correct. So let's see when he walks back into lane.
Solo kill him.
He's probably missing like 2 or 3 ranged minions as well.
I'll buy a
But
teleport.
he misses probably like the cannon and like 2 or 3 ranged minions. I think when you compare that to what would happen if you just let the wave slow push towards blue side turret, I'm guessing that would be better, but maybe there's some reason that I'm wrong about that.
Alright, nice. Well,
If he had Tiamat already, then I can see why he'd want to shove it in, because you can shove it in really quickly and then maximize the number of minions that Shen misses. But shoving it in was actually pretty slow, so maybe it wasn't the best idea. I don't know, just curious about that. Okay, so here's the next section that I was curious about. So Weeknd uses his ultimate to trap the Shen in for a nice gank with Talia ult. And Shen is killed.
get back over here.
And we know that he still doesn't have teleport, because he used it earlier. And now, there are so many minions on the enemy side, and very few on the allied side. So this wave, if nobody touches the wave, if they just last hit, if Weeknd just last hits, or just recalls, the wave will definitely push towards his tower. Maybe he should thin it out a little bit and let it slow push into his tower. Shen's going to be dead for 20 seconds, and then he's going to have to walk all the way back to lane because he doesn't have teleport. So I'm thinking here, I'm pretty sure the best play is to let the wave slow push into tower. Maybe go up to like 280 gold and then recall, get tier 1 boots, and then walk back to lane. That's what I'm thinking is the best play. Just last hit, don't shove it out, get 280 gold, and then recall, get tier 1 boots, walk back to lane. Or maybe 320, 330 gold, get another longsword or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what the right buy is there, but I think the right play to maximize the number of minions that Chen misses is to not try to shove this in. It takes so long. You'll see he tries to shove it in again. It takes so long to shove it in. And by the time he actually manages to shove it in, Shen has already spawned and started walking on his way back to lane. Let's just fast forward a little bit. So Shen spawned. Actually, no, he didn't even finish shoving it in. He starts TPing bot. This is kind of interesting. So what happens is he TPs bot, Shen ults the Jarvan, I believe. Let's, don't remember. No, the Janna, okay. And both Shen and Camille flash here. So yeah, the wave right now is going to crash into the enemy tower, but Camille's going to miss all of these minions that are being killed. It's like slow pushing a little bit. Not slow pushing, but it's pushing into their tower. And Camille's going to miss all of these minions here. And then Shen will miss all of those minions under the tower. So they're both missing a bunch. Shen is missing a bit more, I'd say. And he had to use his Shen ultimate. Camille had to use her TP. And here, I have another question, which is, Shen's recalling in a very greedy spot here. So we see Jarvan has like very little mana. Lucian and Jen are both level 5, and they're backed off pretty far. Shen's going for this really greedy recall, and both Camille and Shen don't have flash right now. So what I would try to do in this position is, I'm seeing the Shen do this greedy recall, and I'm like, no, I want to delay that recall. I want to maximize how many minions Shen misses. While the wave's going to bounce, and it's going to push towards the blue tower. So that means that Shen's going to miss a lot of the blue minions that are going to die as the wave's pushing towards the blue tower. So Shen wants to recall as soon as possible to avoid missing too many minions. So Camille wants to delay the recall as much as possible. So when I see this greedy recall, I'm thinking, oh, I want to try to stop it somehow. And I'm not saying you should E into Shen when there are 4 people here. I'm saying you should, what I would try to do is E to this wall and then E backwards. Like, try to bait him to stop his recall. Just to E to this wall. Maybe the Shen will just get spooked by that E, the first part of E, and then cancel his recall, and that, you know, makes him miss a few more minions top. It's a small thing, but I think it would probably actually help. It's a high chance that if you E to this wall, Shen stops his recall. because he probably knows this is a pretty, it's recalling right in front of the enemy champions, so he probably knows it's like a greedy move. So I think it's a high chance that if Camille E's to this wall, Shen will cancel the back, and then Camille can just E back towards this side. And we know Shen doesn't have flash, so there's no risk of like a taunt flash. Jarvan's out of mana, there's no risk of an EQ. So I think it would be pretty safe to do that kind of a play. But, again, I could be wrong. So I'm curious to know. All right. And then one thing that I really liked about what Weeknd did in the next like 30 seconds or so is how he stayed around bot for just as long as he could get away with. So he knows that Shen's going to recall, go top, and then start pushing in the wave to his tower. But that's going to take some time. And Camille wants to get back to that blue tower as soon as the wave crashes in. So he has about 30 seconds now before he needs to recall. And he'll still get back to the tower in the perfect time to catch all the minions. So he just he stays around. I think the reason he stays around is because there's a chance that there's a play that could happen in which he's helpful. Or maybe he's just applying pressure by being there, walking over wards or something, clearing vision. I don't know. If he just backed right now with the Shen and went top lane, he wouldn't get too much out of it. So I understand why he's staying here, getting some experience from these minions. Scaring off their bot lane a little bit. And then he walks up. I think Nidalee's pinging assist on the blue buff, so he's going around. I think they eventually see the Jarvan, and he doesn't actually help killing the Jarvan, but I don't know. He gets this vision plant, which is useful. And now he channels his recall, I believe, because he sees that Jarvan's going to die regardless of whether he helps. And he just needs to get back top right as the minions are going to crash in. So yeah, I think I was very impressed by that play. So it's not something I would have done. I would have probably just recalled at the same time as Shen and been a little bit inefficient there. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. Anyway, yeah, I have a lot to learn. There are so many things that go into decision making in this game. So hopefully I can get better at that. I just wanted to note for the record that me, criticizing or questioning Weeknd's decisions does not in any way mean that I think I'm better than him or anything like that. I'm actually I ended Diamond 5 last season. This is my main account, and clearly I'm not even close to where Weeknd is. So that's not what I'm trying to say or anything like that. I've been practicing Camille on this account, but it's still not even close. It's just plat right now. So I'm playing the game on a totally lower level than what Weeknd is doing, but I still want to learn, and that's why I'm making this video, not to criticize or anything like that. Anyway, Weeknd went absolutely off this game, 9-0-4, just stomped. And he provided that frontline role as Camille, which is something you don't see every day. The tanky role, rather. While doing almost the second most damage in the game. Anyway, I have a lot to learn about decision making in this game, but I think analysis in this slow, calculated manner is the best way to improve. So I'm going to keep on doing that.